can these genetics adapt to different climates? For example, could you take a broadleaf from the northern climate, bring it down to the tropics, and then have it grow naturally? Let's say it's out in the wild outside, and over 20 years, let's say 20 years later, will that genetic adapt, or will you just see poor growth for that 20-year period?
Well, I think you definitely could have, some level of adaptation if you could get them to finish off. In a lot of cases, the plants don't make it all the way to harvest because of the heat and the stress and all the rest, or, pest pressure. That's another one too. Like, for instance, when I was in Thailand, if you're in the marshier areas or the rice fields, like where I was growing initially, those are all almost limonene dominant completely in terms of chemovore profile. And that limonene really does help get rid of those bugs that kind of like that environment more. Whereas in the mountains, you get more of the chocolates and the mangoes, some of the other, funkier sandalwood type terpene profiles, and that really is more adapted to like the whitefly and the other different pests that are up there. That's the plants that are surviving and not getting eaten by the bugs. So that plays a huge role in that terpene expression as well as what's going to survive and not survive. That's the other component to it aside from just the climate is that if it has another one too. I was at two different facilities, and I've seen thrips specifically feeding on pineapple flavored varieties, eating all of the pestils off of the plants. So they eat just the pestils off, which is really weird. It's good if you don't want pollination, I guess. But they would just crawl up to the top, eat all the pestils, and then go back off the plant. It was the weirdest thing, but I've seen that on two separate occasions, specifically with pineapple flavored varieties. So sometimes you even just get a pest that really cues in on one or two cultivars, and you just can't grow those particular cultivars because the pests they're like magnets to them. So, and other times too, hey, if those couple of plants are going to take all my bugs off of the rest of the plants, that's fine. I'll sacrifice those, and we'll just sacrifice those to the Lord of Light at the end of the season, like we do our ticks that we find on ourselves.
This clip is brought to you by AC Infinity. Use discount code MrGrow at 15 to save on any of their products.